into Viego, at least in the early stages of the game. And then I'll be curious to see what the game plan is going to be. Ezreal was the first one for Viper last time, and that's exactly what they're going to go back to.
Rinse and repeat. Jiejie on the loose in. It's been a big core of his, and, you know, a jungler that still sits there as strong in the meta. Dagda, are we really going to run it back? Okay, so they're saying the Draven wasn't the issue.
Yeah, and I mean, look, if we're going to just run it straight back, I mean, Braum going to be able to come through here again for EDG. And honestly, I don't see why you change it, right? Like, they actually worked out, like, super well from the last game. It went, they had all the answers they need. I think the Braum was a good addition as well because it just nullifies everything you want to do in that bot lane. We're going to have to see if, yeah, looks like it's going to be the play.
Yeah, don't get baited in. I want the Zyra as well, but I'm not sure if we're at that point yet. It was so great in the 2v2, and Meiko was amazing on this Braum. So as we run it back, Dagda, my biggest question is, do EDG suddenly say, well, the biggest threat was the Kale? Do they ban it away?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Again, though, they looked like they were a bit Angel. Like, it was the Silas and the Twisted Fate that they banned last time. I think the Kale ban is probably worth it, just because it was like the only thing that you had a bit of an issue with. And Flandre didn't really look comfortable in the Jace, but maybe Flandre saying, hey, look, we'll leave open the Kale. We won't go back towards the Jace, or maybe I can play the lane matchup a little bit better. Or I'll have a different pick that I'll go in with the Kale.
We've already seen the Jax ban there from Weibo Gaming, so starting to indicate the direction they could go. Notice we've got the Gwen, we've got the Jax. If we get the Kale here, it'll be a third top lane ban. So we are still targeting towards that top side, as you'd expect when you first Weibo Gaming. We've run the clock. EDG, hello. And you know what?
No ban.
Maybe they're playing with it. Maybe you do this to affect the mental, Dagda.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it's a mistake where they're talking about it like too much and didn't actually lock it in. I say the discussion was TF or Kale. Unfortunately, just a little bit late on it. Maybe now, you know, Weibo gonna answer back as well and just go, you know what, we're not banning anything. Or the real play is we actually just go back to the podcast where all they want us is to have pauses, and EDG are gonna call a pause.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see, because honestly, I was pretty close to thinking that Weibo Gaming were just gonna play the respect game. EDG saying we don't need the ban. You know, we're getting into a game where Weibo Gaming, we don't need to respect them. We're top 4, and let's be real, EDG, everyone's saying still in that upper echelon. We'll have to see if it's true, because Flandre's returning to the Vladmir up against TheShy, who was known, if you guys forgot, as the Game 5 Vladmir King. He would always pull this out when their backs were up against the wall, and always did well on it. So going up against TheShy, Flandre's got something to prove as Angel pulls out the Anivia Dagda.
So just kind of taking a book at a page out of Cap's book, eh? You know, bringing out the Anivia. I will say, pretty brave to do it blind, because I don't think that's a Vladmir going in towards the mid lane. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see now, because there's options here.
Okay.
So is that a Swain top?
Wait. Okay, it could be a Swain top, but Dagda, hear me out. It's TheShy. TheShy plays so much top. Is it an Anivia top? Or do you think I'm just being stupid?
I'd be very surprised at the Anivia top. Just because, like, you're so vulnerable in that extended lane, but we'll have to see is
Dagda.
Viper? Yeah,
it's TheShy.
Yeah.
So I know normally in a cast, now I'll give you guys a quick casting 101 super quick. Normally they say, don't talk about flex and hovers, don't talk about things you don't know. I'm going to talk about something I don't know. It's TheShy. He plays Kalista top. He plays Lucian top. Even though Huanfeng probably going to be on the Draven, you know where I'm going with this, Dagda?
If it actually is, I mean, I'm pretty sure he plays it in solo queue, but I don't know if this is the time to whip it out. I'm just going to say. You know.
Let's just wait and see.
Why is the Anivia not swapped?
Just wait. 30 seconds. Dagda, we got 10 seconds. I told you. TheShy, Anivia top. Just wait. 5, 4, 3, 2,
Oh
1.
my God.
Told you.
Oh my God. What is this game?
Dude.
What is going on?
I have been here since 2019. I may be 27, but in LPL years, I've molded to 50. And I've watched TheShy that much that honestly, if it was the Draven top, you know, I wouldn't be surprised either. Anivia top, because TheShy is the strangest, most Giga Chad, also sometimes inting man I've seen in League of Legends. Honestly, one of a kind. Bird top.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, so the reason I'm laughing is I just saw Flandre like clapping his hands delightedly in the top side where he was like, this is going to be great. Now, I will also say the last time we saw one of these funky control mages go up to the top side for TheShy was when he decided to pick Ghost Victor top, and it was not the best of times. He got absolutely destroyed. I think he was 0-6 in the first like 15 minutes. So
Yeah,
realistically, all that's going to happen here is that Jiejie is going to play up towards top side. Anivia, like, so the theory here, I'm assuming, is that as Anivia, you can push in the wave against Vladmir, and then Vladmir doesn't really get to do anything. You don't really get to push the wave as Anivia in a top lane, because then you die a lot. So,
True.
I don't really know. Unless, like, they're going to change it up again, as TheShy is actually going to go mid, and, like, Angel goes top as Swain, but it doesn't really look like it. So, here we are. I don't know.
Here we are.
This is...
Dagda, you know
God.
what? How about we start with EDG's comp? Take me there. Because we're a little bit more standard. Scout's gone Azir, you know, in a meta that we don't see as much Azir. Where would you like to begin on their side?
Yeah, so EDG, I like. They got a ton of team fighting, right? Like, they're going to be super strong when they have the late game scaling coming in. And just the ability to, again, like, play at range. Like, Angel wants to be on top of you. Huanfeng, SofM, everyone wants to be up close and personal. When you've got, like, disengage from Scout, from Meiko, even from Jiejie's kick, it means you've got, like, a ton of opportunities to try and play with that. So I like, from EDG's perspective, I think it works out great. For Weibo, it seems to just be a case of, like, how much space can we actually control to, like, try and force fights, but yeah, we're gonna have to see what the story is here.
Yeah, we are indeed, because seeing TheShy up in this top lane with this pick, for folks at home, this is kind of the time you start spamming, you know, I was here, Dagda, like, it feels like a pretty unique moment, and kind of excited to see where it lands. He's taking Airy up into the top lane, phase rush here for Flandre, and you can see already TheShy trying to bridge that space, play with tethering a little bit here. Flandre currently has a push, and I think if we're talking about Anivia top, it's also worth mentioning where junglers are starting, because SofM has just been seen. He literally crossed in front of Scout and is going straight towards Raptors to control top side.
Which I'm kind of surprised at, because, I mean, if Jiejie hadn't gone for, hang on, bit of an engage on boss.
This time around, Huanfeng and On, again, do get the better trade on top of Meiko, but we saw that in game number 1 as SofM goes to the invade. And it looks like Big Chicken goes to him as well, turning back onto Jiejie. Level 3, but Sonic Wave into Resonating Strike. Scout's here as well first, but Angel's now joined in. Level 2 for the mid laner, but the Never Move flushed away from Weibo Gaming, playing hyper aggressive, and they're getting away with it.
Yeah, Summoner Spell for Summoner Spell, where you did get the Ghost from Angel to get into position, but SofM, got to see if you can try and get in it once more, but we'll actually just back away from this. I mean, with all the back and forth here that is happening on the top side of the map, it actually does buy a little bit of room for TheShy to try and get to, like, a portion of the game where he's not going to be as vulnerable, but I just don't see a world where this Anivia actually, like, gets the late game, because even if you look at, like, Terror Dives and stuff, if Jiejie just boots the Anivia out from underneath the tower, even if she has egg, she still just dies in egg form later on. So I'm really curious to see what the game plan is going to be here. Especially if you end up having, like, Scout on roams and stuff. This just gets so difficult to try and keep yourself safe as TheShy.
But you know what this does do? It brings in more viewers to the LPL. And any co-streamers are going to be like, you know, we're going to make some content. They're thinking right now, their brains are lighting up like, dude, if I put a video on YouTube saying TheShy plays Anivia top ? And do like a brain explosion with my hands, I'm going to get thousands of viewers. So props to TheShy for helping our co-streamers make money and, you know, give more viewers to the LPL.
I did just open Twitch just to see who was on co-stream duty today. And it's just a little photo of us for the LPL stream with you with your hand over your head, like face palming, and me looking very confused down the lens of the camera, which I think sums up this game perfectly so far.
True. I mean, it just had to be said because, again, you know, it's so odd. But look, moving into the game, I want to talk a little bit about what junglers are doing because it does feel like they're going to be pivotal here, Dagda. We saw SofM go for the cheeky invade, set himself up with topside scuttle, bottom side scuttle achieved as well. And TheShy has complete safety. We can see as well that, you know, bottom side is quite well warded. They're trying to check Jiejie, and they've done a pretty good job with the Gromp ward, spotting him out too, and giving safe laning phases to Weibo Gaming so far.
Yeah, I think there was a graphic that just popped up there at the bottom of the table that just said the last time Anivia played was 2018 spring in the LPL, so definitely a while since we've seen this. But yeah, I agree, kind of looking at junglers, the big factor again is going to be a case of like if SofM is able to control this jungle matchup in the same way that he did to a certain extent in the last game. I think the biggest issue is like Scout, as he starts to get a bit more items underneath his belt, will just be able to control this mid lane matchup far better.
True.
You can even see Jiejie here just making sure that Scout can push in and he's not going to run into SofM, and just try and make sure that you're keeping control as much as possible for EDG in the lanes. And honestly, even if you just end up having the game go late, you're still in a decent spot for EDG, so there's not a ton of pressure on them. I just think I'd like to see them try and get some punishment for this Anivia in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, seeing what Jiejie can do in the laning phase is a good call out, Dagda. He's on his Lee Sin, and, you know, Jiejie can be really proactive here in the early game. He's up towards the top side right now, but the lane, I mean, what can you do with it? TheShy is now level 6 as well, so Glacial Storm activated. This is going to be a massive push coming through. Easy reset, mana's gone. Flandre being an absolute pest with his black blood, and TheShy just backs and will teleport to do it all over again.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it's totally fine for Flandre, right? Like, yes, you will get push here for TheShy in the top side, but eventually you run out of mana. Flandre will do reasonably well to just kind of absorb a lot of that pressure. And because you're in the long lane, you have to be so careful about these runs. You have to be so careful about, like, the Lee Sin coming up towards the top side. But yeah, it looks like at the moment, EDG just going to start their regular story, which is, hey, we've got push bot, we've got push mid, let's start stacking these dragons.
Massive wave as well, so they're going to spend quite a while out here from Huanfeng and on, and we haven't seen much action, folks. I apologize, but remember, we've got Vladmir, Anivia, Azir, Swain. Like, we have some good scaling coming through Dagda, and it's not like we're going to get the busiest of lanes when everyone is just happy farming up and being content with getting to second, third dragon before we see anything crucial.
Yeah, the only way that this game could have been any slower was if we actually ended up with, like, a Corki for Angel instead, and we just went full, like, hey, this isn't going to interact. The only thing I will say is that Huanfeng and On definitely would like to interact more in this bot lane.
Good point.
I just don't know if they're really going to get a chance, because, again, like, you're caught out here as SofM, like, all right, well, do I try and play down towards the Draven and get those stacks off, or am I now going to try and babysit TheShy in the top lane, because Lord knows he needs it at this stage.
Yeah, he definitely does. Doing okay in the CS department, though, worth mentioning. Actually, across the board, all the same. As Viper and Meiko pushing for the 2v2 once again. We'll pay attention to the junglers again soon, folks, because 25 seconds until the Herald spawns. Top side well warded here by Weibo Gaming. And the wave slowly being quelled out in this mid lane. You can see SofM moving up now, level 6. Jiejie only level 5, but he's got a top side jungle to clear, so that's my interest, Dagda, because honestly, LPL teams rarely go down to Rift Herald without a fight.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think from Weibo's perspective, that's probably where you want to try and set up a fight of some description, right? TheShy should have good push on top, although he is steadily running out of mana, so that may change by the time this Rift Herald fight actually kicks off.
We can only hope, can't we? Right now, positioning can get the clear of the top side. That's one thing I want to mention. Flandre getting hit hard. Look at him go. The wall's up once again. Flandre just getting whacked with some icicles, but it's a Vladmir. What else is going to happen here? Jiejie with the steal, but no. Kicks away after SofM secures his own blue buff. Level advantage here. The scout helps him get out. Guys, we apologize for no blood, but honestly, just wait. We've got Herald starting up here, and looks like Jiejie is trying to bait it in.
Yeah, I think he realizes TheShy is completely out of mana. Angel actually has no blue buff in the mid lane now because SofM has it, so you don't have the control in either lane that you need to go for this. So nice job, although Flandre.
Yeah, TheShy out of mana again. You know, classic early Anivia, and surprisingly, when we've seen Anivia in the past, Dagda, usually we get an early tier, but Lost Chapter has been the only thing he's picked up as Scout survives a bit of an engage from On in the mid lane in the meanwhile, and we'll have to see what TheShy does with this next back because he's already burnt the TP, he's got the wave pushed out, goes for a Fiendish Codex, has no interest in the tier coming through as a top lane Anivia.
Yeah, I'm really surprised because, like, you really need that as part of your build just because, you, as you said, like, you end up pushing so much, you don't really get enough mana regen from just the Lost Chapters. But either way now, again, EDG moving over towards the Rift Herald. They had the push on bot lane so they can move Viper up, but Viper does need to move back down, even running an extra TP for himself as well. So maybe they take the fight and then he TPs back down.
I mean, On's just walking in. There's a depth charge on Flandre, and I told you, folks, LPL fights over Herald, but Meiko's dying quick as the Herald's secure, but EDG with no health bar. What a snipe coming through from Huanfeng, but Weibo Gaming the health bar quite low as the blast goes taken. No! Angel goes over to send his jungler in, but it could be a good thing as a reset. Number 1 comes in, but it won't allow another. Meanwhile, TheShy dealing with Viper. This bird trying to go to an egg, but it's already happened. Viper secured it. He gets another double, and EDG somehow come out clean.
TheShy put up the wall that stopped the CC for Viper. Oh, no. I don't know if he would have survived, but that is hilarious. But all said and done, at least Huanfeng does get a good amount of pressure on the spot side and picking up a kill as well. As you said, a really nice snipe, but we'll see here, right? Like, it is 4 versus 5 from this position, so I'm kind of surprised to see Weibo go as heavily as they did into this play. Like, Meiko getting sniped in the backside is super nice, but Flandre's getting a ton of healing off, a ton of damage. And even here, I think it was... I think that was actually Angel who might have hit that, or at least one of the Weibo guys who did it. And then after that, this comedy of error here. So On is like, I will save you, my hero. And I don't know if he would have survived, but watch the wall. Stop. I think he actually might have been able to kill him. If that hook and the autos had gone through, maybe you actually can, because you get more CC after. But, oh, that is heartbreaking.
And I can tell you as well, I believe it was SofM who hit the blast cone immediately as Angel flashed over. So... looks pretty rough there, Dagda.
Oh, no.
It was a comedy fight, but let's start with the props. Huanfeng with the snipe from downtown was beautiful. TheShy wall even better, and it's a good start for Viper again. What happened in game 1, Dagda? It was Viper who got a double and was set up for success.
Yeah, I will say, though, at least you're getting a little bit of an even matching here from Huanfeng, right? Because he got the kill, so did get some of the stacks, but I mean, everything is going the way of EDG apart from that, right? You end up with the second dragon here for EDG. You still have Rift out in the back pocket of Jiejie as well. So SofM going to try and make a play to Flandre, but this is a Vladmir. Like, he has ult. He should be totally fine.
Yeah, Plague, and plus the pool was there as well, so War going to be on the wrong side. TheShy still without the tier, so low on mana. As Angel now might be getting dove himself, pulls him back in, but Scout ults him back up against the turret. Sonic Wave connects, and Angel's kind of stuck in a wall. On, comes on through with a Hex Flash, but misses. Herald still gets the charge, and as Shelly gets ready to depart dead, EDG get close to knocking down the first turret of the game. They have a 1k goal lead, and Dagda, as they push in here, it'll be 2 with 2 dragons. EDG with firm control.
Yeah, and it looks like Weibo tried to make a play on the top side as well, because TheShy very low has to reset. So now that's given EDG the information that, hey, SofM's on top side, let's just take over his bot side jungle and get some of that much needed golden experience back over to Jiejie, because remember, he was initially set behind, but he's absolutely delighted now as we just get that replay of that top lane dive.
Yeah, okay, so you said the Vladmir has Hebo Plague and Dagda. You couldn't be more on the money. And with how dangerous turrets are now, TheShy took 1 shot and almost died. So that's rough. Flandre burns nothing but the ulti, and, you know, nothing's happening with this bird in the top lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll be seeing this much more again, to be honest. Like I can understand the thought process, right? Like, Anivia does do well against Vladmir, particularly if it's in the mid lane, right? Because you just get to push. Flandre gets stuck underneath the turret. You can start to take turret plates. You can do reasonably well there. The problem is when you're in an extended lane like this, you don't get to have that same sort of control. And you're also just a lot more vulnerable. So TheShy doesn't get to do it as often as he would like, where he gets to push in fully. But a bit of a duel down in the bot lane here, as Angel definitely coming out the worst for wear there.
Yeah, I was going to say, nothing much going to happen from there, but Scout's been playing this pretty nicely. He's about 20 CS ahead of his counterpart, and remember, it is Leandri's versus the Imperial Mandate, so support item coming through here from Angel. And speaking of support, he does have On by his side. Real Flash is available, but Scout has his own, has his escape. Shifting Sands is there, and Dagda, I'm not sure what they've expected, because EDG are bringing the cavalry down to smack him back.
Yeah, they already knew that On was there. Somehow that ward just there in the jungle corridor wasn't spotted by the pink that was in the brush, so they knew that On was there at all points in time. So trying to see if they could maybe bait him in to go a bit hard, but not going to be the case, as now EDG may need to back away.
Yeah, maybe, but Viper's here as well. Jiejie taking the Hex Gate, and I'm not sure what's going to happen now because Meiko's the target. Dragon's 2 minutes 10 away, but in the LPL, blood must continue to fall. We only have 6 kills, and so we're hoping to speed that one up as Scout keeps walking away at the turret. And Dagda, nothing else is happening from there. So I guess we have to wait till what? Next Dragon? Next Herald? Like, for these teams to kind of brawl again.
Next game, let's be realistic.
Well,
because, I mean, look, I have never got into a game where I was like, yeah, we've got like Anivia, Azir, Vladmir, Ezreal. This is going to be an action-packed one. But TheShy is going to find us.
Yeah, he's been kicked back. And honestly, the last time I saw a bird kicked, we called the RSPCA. TheShy running away and he's had to burn his flash. But Jiejie is still hungry and he wants to fry it up.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's just giving control back again over to Flandre, so now he gets to push in, and even having the CS lead as well. I mean, you can see why Flandre was like giggling to himself in the top lane when he thought he was going up against TheShy's and Anivia. Like, this has gone spectacularly. Like, you have no control over the top side, no control over your mid lane, as Scout is getting even further ahead, and yes, Huanfeng got one cash in, and it's probably sitting on a quiet amount of adoration stacks as well, but you just don't have the setup to actually enable a Draven in this case.
Well, look, at the very least, Dagda, Weibo Gaming going to try. It's a Kraken Slayer here on SofM on his Viego, so every third hit going to be a charm, as Weibo Gaming have 4 members in River ready. Huanfeng finally joined in as True Shot Barrage helps out with the leash. SofM going to take second Herald. In EDG, you can see Scout actually resets, so he's not here. He might have to TP in as Meiko is caught up, but going golden buys some time as Teleport will bring in the 5th member. TheShy's wall has gotten bigger, and now they have to get around it. Flandre into the pool, and his black blood ready to ooze out. Weibo Gaming won't take the risk. Forward he goes, but Weibo Gaming have built the space. They want to re-engage this, and I'm not sure how it's going to go when they're just taking so much poke from Viper.
I mean, where's your re-engage, right? Like, On is the only one, and he's already going so low.
And his dredge line goes on in. Jiejie wants to finish it off, but it's a flash away from Meiko. Once again, SofM charging forward with his damage build as Flandre has to pull every time TheShy sends out the wall. Weibo Gaming have got what they came for, and it's a bit of damage on the mid lane turret, but they're going to give up 3rd Dragon Dagda for a simple charge.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? It's like, again, On is the sole engage tool, and he's been doing across this series like a really good job of finding them, but if you're not able to immediately just follow up on that engage, there's just nothing left in the tank. Dragon goes across, damage for Scout on this bot lane tier 2, maybe a little bit more actually, as a oh, the wall not able to get Scout into place.
Yeah, not quite, but look, the minion wave dies. That's the one good thing about Anivia is we see a bit of an engage here in the jungle. On's gone deep, and Scout is over the wall. The kick backwards. No one from Weibo Gaming was there. He got in. He's away, but for how long? Flandre's after him. On is playing the cheeky game of cat and mouse, and we all know how that one ends.
Yeah, On is officially off, as Angel will get a top tier 1 for himself, but Scout got a decent amount of damage on the tier 2 in bot lane. You got push going in mid. Like, this is all, still going the way of EDG.
Well, at least On gives us some entertainment on the way. And Dagda, look, we came into this draft. We were open about the Anivia top. We said TheShy, what you been thinking about, you know? We've seen his Kalista top, we've seen his Lucian top. Remember in the past with Sanguine Blade was the item. And he's had some innovation before, but the Anivia not doing too much. As On was on Hexgate duty, and he decided he needed to go for another.
Yeah, and look, the idea obviously was, hey, we can try and get on towards Scout on the bot side, like punish him in the quote-unquote overextension, but EDG were all sitting there waiting. Good kick from Jiejie means he's so overextended. I'm not gonna lie, so I don't know how he managed to get out of there, but realistically, that's what EDG wanted to do anyway. They're all gonna look for the resets regardless, so it doesn't really matter too much.
He flashed for that, Dagda. Like, he just wanted his Hex Flash, obviously. Not looking good, as you said. For Weibo Gaming, they're up against Soul Point as Viper gets hooked on in. He walked into that Viper, knocked up. Hang on a minute. The MVP from game number 1, that was just tragic.
Completely caught out there, and now you got Scout who's trying to run up.
Good.
No, Baron isn't up and available. There's no objectives up, but we'll have to try and defend this tier 1 in the middle.
He has Flash Dagda, and he had E. So, pretty rough there. At the very least, Viper going down gives another window for Weibo Gaming as they're looking for further engages. Scout sitting mid comfortably, though, pushing the wave. But look in the top side. Angel able to get this to the inner turret. That'll make EDG move a little bit. maybe open things up for mid if Weibo Gaming could stick around, but I don't know. I'm being optimistic at this point, apparently, as they're not feeling too confident to go any further.
Yeah, you still got Flandre able to collect that top wave. You have the teleport available for Viper as well, so Weibo aren't really able to like too heavily push in onto any of the sides. And now Scout will just return to his own domain in the bot lane. So overall, it's like a nice pick, but it doesn't really amount to a huge amount here for Weibo.
It'd be annoying if you know, any of those creators that talked about Dagda or any people want to clip LPL clips, you know, because if Anivia doesn't win, you don't get content. Like, who's going to click on, you know, Anivia's top? That's true clickbait when it's actually, you know, waste of time. So
I mean, that's where your thumbnail artist just makes their money, right? They get you shocked face, hands on the side of the head, going, "Oh my God, Anivia top," and that's all you need.
And then it turns into why Anivia top. You know what I mean? But hey, I'm optimistic, and at this point, TheShy, level 12 Anivia, the Glacier Storm is going to clear waves almost instantly. We're getting a Void Staff as well, so there's going to be a lot of AP and a lot of burst.
See, a lot of people ask why Anivia, never how Anivia, but I've been asking how Anivia ended up in the top lane this entire game, because I had no idea why this has been the call from Weibo. Like, there is no reason why this was a call. Like, you can even see, it hasn't even won out in the CS department. Like, it does nothing. Like, I'm so confused by this.
Well, maybe we get more answers, Dagda, because I will say, this team probably does Baron quick. You know, that's one thing, at the very least, because we have an Anivia, and if TheShy just sits there, Baron is going to shred very, very quickly, especially with Leandri. So I'll be interested to see what Weibo Gaming do, because they're hovering around Baron for now, but Dagda, we got a minute till Baron. Excuse me, Dragon. Yeah. Little Baron. Baron's son.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, it's all well and good that you're kind of like investing all this vision on the top side of the map if the next fight wasn't going to be in the bottom side of the map. It just feels like Weibo are kind of going, well, you know, screw that. We're just going to see if maybe we can bait the Baron and maybe we can, like, very quickly take us. But realistically, I just don't see a window where you're able to take us before EDG are able to contest. And now Weibo trying to get on towards Scout.
Well, on to get over the wall, but Angel should be enough here. Wants to never move, and Scout pops down the turret. But meanwhile, the other side of the fight, look at the damage from TheShy. He's got the Void Staff now. So Jiejie goes down to half HP. I'm seeing the light of day a little bit here, Dagda, as EDG have their jungler low, but he's healing up with Acid from Ocean coming through. SofM poked down too, though. Viper doing similar damage. Dredgeline starts up the fight, but On flashes out immediately. Regrets his decision and almost dies. Hema Plague just about kills him. Not sure what Weibo Gaming thought would happen.
Yeah, especially when you're just all grouped up in that tight corridor. It's so easy for Meiko to land that Glacial Fissure. So that's the Dragon. On us the reset. They push mid, and there's pings on Baron. Like, EDG just get to sweep out all that vision, even if they don't get the Baron. That Weibo had set up like a minute before the Dragon had happened. So Weibo just unfortunately not being able to play the map around properly, and EDG are running them up.
I guess On was really just hoping to get the right hook, you know? Like, Meiko, alright, well, I'm not, you know. I'm going to throw 50 to 1, or 5 to 1 in this case. 4 to 1, 4 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1. Doesn't matter. He got the wrong person. Is now on Baron, you're right. Going to be scouted out, but On actually goes bravely over the wall. Meiko's here, but look, the rest of EDG are coming through. He'll escape for now. Weibo Gaming somehow brute forced themselves onto the Baron. They started off, but EDG is still here for now.
Yeah, the Scout is on bot side, but does have the TP to get in there if he wants to. I mean, Weibo have just been pushed off. They are like, hey, maybe EDG are on reset. Maybe we can try and do something. I think they just realized this game has gotten so far out of control, and with the composition they have, they don't really have the tools to, like, find quick picks to get back into this.
Yeah, and so we're sitting here left, you know, contemplating an 8-kill game that EDG have just slowly been carrying themselves into a comfortable position with an Azir, with a Vladmir and Ezreal. Like, look at this team and how they're going to play fights, Dagda. And they're going up against Weibo, probably laughing about this one so far. I mean, look at Viper's damage. In front of the Baron, they'll continue to stand here for the rest of the game until Weibo Gaming have no choice but to run into their death grip.
And that's the thing, right? You lose top tier 1 now for Weibo. You've got Scout who's on the tier 2 about to kill him bot lane.
Yep.
Like, an EDG, they don't have to move from here, right? They already know they've got control. They just let the waves push in, and they're just getting the gold and everything that they need, and experience they need on these late game carries.
I mean, On can't find it engaged. Meiko always in front of Jiejie, always in front of Viper. Looks near impossible as even Flandre has his pull to escape. They back away. Some vision cleared. EDG have broken down the bottom lane. They've cleared away the wards again. It's just, it's looking like we snooze until Weibo Gaming decide to put the alarm clock on.
I mean, I think they needed to wake up a little while ago. Like, there's nothing here Weibo can, honestly, I feel like really do, right? You got like TP for Scout. He's totally fine to keep pushing. Viper's just continuously getting control over mid. And even if you try to like burst down Baron, you're only just setting up for like massive AoE damage that EDG have.
We'll engage here when they're spotted out scouting that ward. Could be the opening here for Weibo Gaming. Finally something happening as a Heartbreak used. Depth charge from On, fantastic. The whirling death sends Flandre and Jiejie all the way back to the door, but as TP comes through, Scout now joins the fray, and On is bursted down immediately. TheShy zoning off, but that Glacial Storm won't be walked through. True Shot Barrage once again into the backside. It hits Huanfeng, who's kind of left isolated. He takes the Hexcape at TheShy, now having to flash away as Meiko stands there threatening him. Weibo Gaming are torn apart from each other. Scout is solo carrying while Viper takes down turrets. As he goes golden, they're laughing again at Weibo. Scout here zoning away. You're not going home. SofM is going to be the next target for me as Angel wants to recover the play, but in this game that has just been so silly, Weibo Gaming are lambs to the slaughter, and this Anivia has done absolutely nothing.
I mean, 0-2 on the Anivia, looking like a 0-2 on the series for Weibo. The Baron will be there for EDG. It has just been fight after fight going the way of Edward Gaming. 5-1 now for Viper on this Ezreal. He is fully carrying this game.
Well, I'm so glad we got a bit of spice from Weibo today, but Dagda, this one in the basket, maybe too hard basket for Weibo. It's 7k gold lead. Let's watch again because I guess EDG want to put people to sleep a little bit earlier tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually like a nice pull there from Angel, and maybe if Huanfeng had had a second, he might have been able to get the knock-up and kill Scout, but I mean here, I think this is where it's all gone disastrously. SofM giving the cheeky thumbs up as well as he like runs for the hills and barely manages to escape is definitely a vibe, but I will say EDG like absolutely decimating this entire fight. Like they don't even lose, they only lose Jiejie out of the entire equation, and that was a start from Weibo that nearly looked like they might have been able to get a pick.
Well, now with EDG crushing on in the base, that Baron is going to pick up these turrets left and right. Never move from Angel. He's been trying. He's got his 2 items and Spectre's Cow sitting in the inventory as well, but just look across the board of Weibo Gaming in comparison to EDG. 3, 4 items here on Viper. 3 in the mid lane there for Scout with a Rile Eyes of his own. And Weibo, they're going to make their last stand here, but against Meiko, it's so hard for On. He gets tagged with the Sonic Wave, and Jiejie once again forcing a flash. Flandre's all in with his Tides of Blood at the ready, and that Sanguine pull is so easy to maneuver. Weibo Gaming, their health bars blinking, and EDG are making this look easy.
I mean, it really is, right? Like, you don't really have the wave clear at the moment because of Anivia being forced back. Like, yeah, now you can.
They got him. Glacial Storm's going to come down as well. Anivia great with wave clear, great at defending. But EDG using their poke wells on, gets a 2-man depth charge. Their last stand in this series, Weibo Gaming fighting hard, but Huanfeng can't deal with Viper, who tags him up so heavily, burning down. True Shot Barrage from downtown was so close, but Viper's done enough work. 5-1 here again on the Ezreal. TheShy trying to avoid all the skill shots, but Weibo have no say in this one. The world champions of 2021 will stay undefeated, Dagda, as SofM gets hit for pound. EDG make it look so easier against this bird in the top lane, but it's EDG who are still soaring in the LPL.
That's the 2-0 start for EDG with the 2-0 victory over Weibo Gaming, and Flandre, as you can still see, very happy with the way that one went at the top of the table. Like, my God, I don't know, Weibo. They tried something a little bit funky, and it definitely didn't work.
Yeah, to the fact that Flandre's just like having the greatest time. He's having the biggest laugh because of probably what he's been through. But, you know, mood's good there for EDG. A good series overall. Couple of mistakes here and there, but let's be real. You know, Jiejie in game number 1. Game number 2 was Viper getting caught out once. But apart from that, EDG pretty clean otherwise. So they made it look clinical, and they made it look pretty easy, let's be real, in the second time. I don't know, Dagda. I don't know what to say about that one, because we got an Anivia top, and we didn't go, yeah, Anivia top, man. This looks like it's interesting. Outside of the fact that it was
we've seen this before. Like, I want to see. Actually, I'm gonna go see. I can't remember what team it was against, but basically, like, we saw this like Victor. I think it was against. I can't remember what it was against, but basically, it was like some hard engaged champion, and you just looked at this Victor top with Ghost, and it was like, how do you ever expect to do well over this TheShy? And this just goes down in the exact same boat as that, where I'm just like, this is just such a terrible, terrible idea. Yeah. Like, I can understand in a isolated 1v1, yeah, maybe you can do all right, but that would be mid lane, not so much in the top lane, where it's just a longer lane. It's harder to get the same pressure. Like, it just didn't work out at all. And you could see, like, even when it got to team fights, it didn't really have the control it wanted, right? Like, in theory, I think it's supposed to follow up an On's engage, but you had so many different ways for EDG to scatter that you're not hitting multiple people with the damage or the CC.
I mean, yeah, and look, you know, I keep bringing us back to this, but, you know, the Anivia top, big conversation starter, of course it was, because Weibo Gaming pulled this out of the hat when TheShy has just been cow all the time. Outside of that, let's be real, you know, nothing again happened to the bottom lane. Huanfeng and On tried for the 2v2 at level 1, and then from there was nothing else. The Draven not prioritized, SofM really not that proactive. They try to dive in the top side against the Vladmir with 3/4 of his health and W available and ult Dagda. So it's like, what is happening with SofM? I'm just not sure.
Yeah, I have no idea. It seems again like prioritizing himself rather than the greater good of the team, and it ends up coming back to bite them a lot. And I do feel sad for Huanfeng and On, because again, I think this bot lane has been absolutely incredible. And I think On in particular has really shown that he has put the time in to improve over the course of last year and over the course of the time off during the split. Like, he looks exceptional on these engaged champions, but I mean, there's only so much you can do when the team just isn't able to follow up or isn't, you know, making the correct play after you've had these great engages.
I mean, yeah, it's look, a lot of questions that need to be answered. Now for Weibo, 1-1 apiece. They're going to be going home a little bit empty-handed. They won against IG, but remember that IG earlier today played really well against FPX. So there's a lot of curiosity, I would say, as they go up against WE towards the later half of the week, Dagda. Like, is this team, you know, still struggling from what we saw in spring? Is it getting worse? I think there's a lot of negativity in the air right now about Weibo Gaming, so I'll leave that there. Let's quickly talk about EDG, because up next, they've got JDG. They've got IG, who we're excited about, but BLG. Like, they've got some top teams that they have to get through. And EDG, especially against JDG, who, you know, could be a top 4, top 5. They've got another good match this early on in the schedule.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to see it. Especially, like, even... I mean, it looks like EDG kind of, like, taking down some of their old ghosts as well. Like, when you look at the spring playoffs, it was Weibo that beat EDG to knock them out of the tournament. Now EDG kind of get their own back. And it feels like JDG as well, we're kind of almost in the spot that we expected EDG to be in, like coming into playoffs, where they finished in that top 4, having a good spot. So it feels like kind of trying to take that away from JDG is going to be a great spot for EDG to do.
That's right. And again, you know, like for JDG, because of how they look towards the end of the split, like that's a matchup I'm really excited for. I will say, looking overall in this one, Dagda, Viper 2 consistent games, and I'll bring it back in line with a potential second MVP. Viper and Meiko in the laning phase are just so exceptional, but, you know, Viper is still the top 2, if not the best AD carry domestically in the LPL. I think that's so easy to say when you see performances like this and performances like Game 1.
Yeah, and look, I genuinely believe Viper is the best AD carry in the world right now. Even when EDG were like struggling last split, the guy was still an absolute monster. And it's very hard to argue with it. Even like having the discussions at like international events, people are still like, man, we wish Viper was here, because he is considered the best in the world. So having the I mean, I'd be surprised if it wasn't a double MVP performance here. 41.5% of the team's damage again here for Viper. Like, he has just been so damn good